All right, good morning, everyone. This is Opa Burt coming to you live from Bien Hoa City in Dong Nai Province, Vietnam, from the Pegasus Plaza location here in downtown Bien Hoa. As I come every Wednesday at 10 a.m. in Vietnam time, it's about just after 3 a.m. in London, and it's 10 p.m. Tuesday on the U.S. East Coast. This is Nailing FX, Spot Forex Trading Simplified. And first of all, let's go ahead and quickly go through the disclaimer. The following videos, clips, demonstrations are for educational and instructional purposes only. Tradedictive provides these videos purely for the purpose of demonstrating a method of using the products. Users understand that all the content used in the videos is purely for demonstration purposes and is not a guide and is no recommendation to take a trade, does not provide any indication or prediction of actual results. As a user, you understand and agree with the fact that hypothetical results obtained through the demonstration do not in any way indicate the results that you might receive when using the product. All right, with that disclaimer out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look here. The Nailing FX training schedule. Once you've registered for the free membership at www.tradewithufos.com/OPA, you will be notified whenever there is a training schedule session coming up. And you can then put it into your calendars, both into your Google Calendar or your MSN calendar. Then once you get together, you can use the link to get together. You can see the old sessions and you can get to the live sessions. Additionally, if you're looking on Facebook, you can use the search link at Facebook and search for Forex Pipsville. That's at FX Pips Trading. Here is the calendar for this month. You can see that today is the 9th, Wednesday. The calendar is based on New York time, so that's why you see my schedule here. On Tuesday, it's actually Wednesday here, Wednesday morning here in Vietnam, and today we'll be streaming from FX Street through FX Street. My next two sessions will be from YouTube, and then at the end of the month, we'll be back on FX Street. So the complete training schedule is available once you sign up. Again, www.tradewithufos.com/OPA. And on the YouTube sessions, it'll be great if you could subscribe and give a like, so that helps us out. All right, in today's session of the Nailing FX series, we're going to focus on the stop, entry, and target indicator, SET. We'll do a quick review of the November 23rd limit orders. Of course, the Aussie USD was stopped out. US Singapore dollar is still active, and some platforms, depending on how big your spread is, you may or may not still be in the NZD USD. Of course, we always look at correlation. So let's get right down to it. Today, again, focus on SET. Here is the parameter settings for the indicator. You can see that's the 6265 Zebra Profile SET indicator. So that combines both the profile and the SETs. Now I have the profile turned off here. You can see false, false, false. Those are the blue, the red, the green, and the brown lines, so that only the SET and the crosses. Now the crosses are based on when the profile crosses. So here in this chart, and we'll see it on some other charts as well, you can see this is just the SET setup, okay? And so we have blue arrows facing to the right, and we have red arrows facing to the right, and then we have green and red diagonal arrows, and those diagonals show when the profile indicators cross over, and so that gives you a good idea of what's going on. So here I've taken the crossover arrows off and put on the moving average, the two moving averages of the profile. The first two, the blue, you can see down here, it says blue, where is it? True and true. See, blue and red are true here. So here we see the profile, first two moving averages of the profile showing on this price chart, okay, as well as the SET arrows. And I'm going to go into a lot of detail in terms of what the SET arrows do for you and how you can use them to actually get into trades rather than waiting for the extremes. In the past, we've been looking at only trading or focusing on trades where, as you're seeing in this third depiction here, we were always looking for the channel, which is something that we will always use, and we were always looking for when does price go into the upper band or lower band of the channel in order to take those trades, and leaving out or kind of missing a lot of the trades in between the upper band and lower band. And so the SET will help you find those trades that are available in the middle section between the upper band and lower band. So there's more opportunities for trading and very simple rules to follow. So quickly, here is the review of the limit orders that we put in before. They had the Aussie USD, the US Singapore dollar, and the Kiwi USD. So those were put in way back when on the 23rd. You can see that the Aussie struck our limit and got activated on the 24th. However, what happened with the Aussie, you can see here that the Aussie actually went through the stop, and here is the result of the stop. So we got stopped out on the Aussie USD on the 24th, actually on the 30th, sorry, on the 30th of November. So last month we got stopped out, and that was for a $54.30 loss, okay? So the next one that we're still in right now is the US Singapore dollar, and we'll look at all of these during this session, and I'm going to add the SETs to that. So stay on board and watch what we're doing here. So we can see here that just a few days ago well, this was taken yesterday. I did this yesterday afternoon, my local time, as you can see here, okay? Let me see if I can get the laser pointer. That may help, okay? So the laser pointer here, you can see that's yesterday's afternoon, and here we can see that the blue line, which was the limit buy, was activated 4 days ago. 4 days ago. All right, and it did not go down to the stop loss, and we'll take a look at what that looks like on the live chart in just a little while. So Singapore dollar still looks like it's still in the trade. However, we're going to analyze that a little better now by adding SET and see what the SET and the full analysis instead of just looking. Remember, when we put these trades on, we were focusing on the UFOs, the unfilled orders at different levels. And that was the main focus. We prioritized the trades based on that main focus. And obviously in the Aussie, it didn't work. Okay. Here, we're looking at the UFO, the unfilled orders area back on the 26th. So let's take a look at the next one. And that is, I have to go now that I put that. All right. So now we're looking at the Aussie dollar, and depending on your, went the wrong way, sorry. Here, the Kiwi, the NZD USD, all right? Now, look at this. Here's the high of 0.71022. That was the high of this candle right here. Now, the stop was put at 0.01055. Okay, so 55 to 22 is 3.2 pips. Now, if your spread happened to be greater than that 3 pips for this particular currency pair, then you probably got stopped out. If you are trading with raw data because you're paying a commission, you probably didn't get stopped out, okay? Because the spread in a raw data would be much smaller. And that's one of the reasons why, if your account allows you, you want to be trading on the better raw spread if your broker allows it. Okay, so that's the NZD. So there's everything. We're going to be taking a quick look at that in just a little while. So let me go ahead and go to the next slide here. Now, here is a correlation chart of the Euro USD 1 hour, and that's the same chart that I showed you just a little bit earlier here, where you see the SETs, okay, stop entry target. Here's the parameters for that indicator. Now the indicator is the 62.65 Zebra Profile SET version 3.03. For those of you that have sent in the request, I have, once you've provided the security information, I've sent you these indicators so that you can evaluate them. Everybody gets an evaluation of at least 2 months so that you can test and try these out. And if you find that they are really good and helpful, they help improve your trading, then you can subscribe, and the subscription is very, very inexpensive. So here is what we're looking at, and the SETs. Let's take a look here at the SETs, and if I can, I think I can magnify this. All right, so here we're looking at the SETs. Now, when I have a blue arrow coming in, now it looks like this blue arrow is set up for this large spike here, but actually the way it works in the MT4 is that the center of this arrow is the activation. So it came in on this red period right here after this, okay? And so when you get a blue arrow, the blue arrow here would be a stop. Okay, that would be a stop taking a short at this point. Taking a short, that would be the stop. So when you get this blue arrow coming in, what you're going to be looking for is you're going to look to see what is the trend. What is the trend? And you're going to look for two different trends. You're going to look at the channel trend. You're going to be looking at the upper band and lower band of the channel to see if the trend is up. If the trend is up, then we're going to ignore this blue downward recommendation. Okay? Well, secondly, we're going to also look at the profile trend here. You can see the profile trend went kind of flat here, so we don't really know. We don't really know. Here, we had a recommendation to go long because this red stop, right, is down below. So it's a stop down below, and had you taken that, you would have gotten stopped out for a small loss. However, this did continue to go up. Down here, if I can move this around a little bit, okay, down here, this is probably somewhere in the middle of the channel, and you can see that, again, if the channel trend, remember the channel trend, is showing you an uptrend, okay, then you are probably going to want to take this trade, because not only is the channel showing you movement strength to the upside, but also the profile here is showing you that there is strong movement to the upside at this point. Okay, and so what we're looking at here is we'd be entering at the close of this right here. This right here. Remember, it's not where the tail of the arrow shows you, but it's the close of the next one. That's when this arrow will actually pop up. The arrow will not pop up here, it'll pop up here. So there's the close. We want to enter at that close or better and set our stop, initial stop, down at the arrow. And what we'd want to do is initially set up at least a 1-to-1, and then, adjust as we go along. Now, some people will look, and as soon as this arrow pops in, okay, they will go ahead and exit the position because they've gotten a negative. But the channel and the profile here still shows that there's strength to the upside, even though this blue arrow popped in, because the blue moving average still stayed above the red moving average. So you might, watch it, be a little more cautious, but it still looks like it's good. All right. So this continues to move up, move up. We have some pullbacks. Depending on how you're managing your stop, what is your feel-good amount? As soon as you've reached your feel-good amount, you want to make sure that you lock in profits and go to a free trade. So that's a quick review, quick look at the, let's see, how do I get out of this now? There we go. All right, and what I was looking at here also, you see this blue arrow right here corresponded with this UFO, unfilled order zone, right here. Now this is the Euro USD. So, however, taking a short at that level didn't seem to be a good trade I don't know. We'll have to take a look at it. All right. So there's the correlation. And now we'll go ahead and see if we can go to some search. We'll go to some live charts to identify what we're talking about here. And again, just to remind you, don't miss any of my Nailing FX sessions, and know how to get the trading tools that I provide. Go to www.tradewithufos.com/OPA. In any case, you can always do a Google search. Do a Google search and look for Nailing FX OPA BERT, and you'll find lots of the recorded videos. You need to go back to a lot of the older videos to understand how we're looking at certain things. And go ahead here and end this show. So we can turn that off. And so let's go ahead and bring up, here's the Aussie that we got into several weeks ago. You can see here's where we got stopped out. Okay, here we got stopped out. Continue to move up, and we're up in this zone here. Now, here there was a trade that we would have been looking at in this upper zone, the upper band of the channel here. So this channel. Now let's go ahead and add, I'm going to add the SET 6265. Remember, that's a combination profile. And okay, so here we go. Signal gap is a 0.5 pip. That's just so that we get a little bit of a spread in there. It goes back and checks the last 300 periods to do the calculation. Show SET, those are the horizontal arrows facing to the right. Show the crossovers. If we're going to have the profile on there, we don't really need the crossovers, so we're going to have that false. Then show the blue line, we're going to say true. Show the red line true. The green and the brown line of the complete profile, we don't really need that at this point. Okay, so that's how we're going to set that up. And then we're going to look at the colors. The colors can stay okay, and we'll say, all right, so here we see, whoops, looks like I didn't turn off the brown line. Let's go ahead here. Inputs, and yep, here. Thought I did, but I didn't. All right, good. All right, so now what does this tell me? What does this tell me? All right, so as I said here, and I know that I've been told that my cursor doesn't show up very well on these charts for you to be able to see it. So you need to really focus. I tried to expand the cursor, make it bigger. It's bigger on what I see, but maybe doesn't get transmitted as large. So looking here, what we had is we had price moving into the upper band. Now, price was rising here. Okay, price was rising, and it went into the upper band, and we got a channel dot, a red channel dot. That red channel dot was followed by an alert. Okay, and depending on your risk tolerance, some people will go ahead and take the trade at that point. Okay, because prices moved into the band, and we can see that there is a potential for it to have turned around. All right. Now, the next thing that I see here is we then had a confirmation. That's this circle, red circle with the white arrow inside it. Okay. We had a confirmation that this alert was valid. And before we even had the channels on a daily chart, we would go ahead and take a short trade right at that confirmation, the close of the confirmation period, and look for somewhere between 50 and 30 pips. Okay. Sometimes, you know, depending on where you are on the channel, it was a good trade. Now, in addition, we have the SET showing up here. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 indications that price is going to drop at this point here. Okay, now I haven't added the MACD. We could also be looking at the MACD and see if the MACD is giving me confirmation. Additionally, what we have here, and I will be talking about this and showing you the sentiment indicator. This is a big topping tail, here. It's a candlestick formation where the wick here is better than 2 times the size of the body. Okay, and and that tells me that the sentiment here on the upper wick being so large, and price at one point was all green up in here and ended up down here, that the sentiment at that point was very, very bearish sentiment there. And again, we're not going to get into that detail because that's another lesson coming up. Okay, maybe next week or sometime after that. So we've got sentiment in here. All right, so for all of these reasons, I'm confident that I could take this trade. Okay, and there it goes down. And if had I taken that trade somewhere, let's say I had to take it slightly after the open, coming down here, that was 120 pips of potential gain off that trade. Now it did pull back, and here again. Now at this point, I am looking, and I'm going to squeeze this down a little bit. At this point, I am looking to see what is the channel trend, and what is the profile trend. Okay, and so the channel trend at the top here is pretty much flat. It's flat, and the signal comes in closer to the top of the channel. So I'm going to focus more on what's the top channel doing. If the signal comes in closer to the bottom band of the channel, then I would focus more on what the bottom band is telling me. Okay, so right now the top band is fairly flat, has not given me much of an indication. I'm coming off of a trade from the high band here, and so this caused the moving averages of the profile to turn down. The bottom band is saying that there's still some strength to the upside. But again, the predominance, I'm giving that less weight because I'm closer to the top band. All right, just so that you understand what I'm doing. This is This is neutral. This is neutral. This is saying go short. Go short. Put your stop at the blue arrow. Enter here. Go for at least a 1-to-1, and let's see what happens. So you can see it went down here. All right, now I got a channel dot on the green down here because price traded into the lower band. Channel dot was followed by an alert, and one of the techniques that we have is that if a channel dot is followed by an alert, depending on your risk tolerance, okay, you could try to enter that trade. Okay. Here we got a confirmation that this trade, this alert was valid. Again, on a daily chart, when I get a confirmation of an alert, I try to enter on the close of the alert period, and I will be looking for anywhere from 30 to 50 pips or better. Now, because I'm coming off the bottom here, I would be looking for 50 pips. And if I had tried to enter right at the close, I would have gotten into the close, and the high 2 periods later was 78, 79 pips. So my 50 pip target would be easily achieved. And so even though I've got a large stop and I initially set it up as a 1-to-1, once I've got 30, I definitely want to lock in something, maybe just 5 pips, okay, and be in a free trade. And so I don't make 30 or 50, but I don't lose. Okay, so I'm very, very conservative in my trading, and I try to always make sure that worst case scenarios, I lose very little. Worst case scenarios, lose very little. However, sometimes, well, the chart just goes against you. There's not much you can do. You learn from your errors and move on. Okay, so here we continue. And here I get in the middle of this channel here, in the middle of the channel, I get an indication that price should go down. The blue arrow would be the stop of a sell, stop of a sell. Now, why I don't have anything else, I can see that, okay, the profile turned over a little bit, but where is this price action occurring? Is it occurring closer to the upper band of the channel, or is it occurring closer to the lower band of the channel? The way I see it, again, we have a center band in here, and this is the price down here. The price is definitely closer to the lower band, and since it's closer to the lower band, I'm going to look and see what's the trend on the lower band. And I have, it's not a very, very strong, but still it's indicating to me that there is an uptrend here. So when there's an uptrend, I am going to ignore that signal. Okay? I'm going to ignore that signal. And it's a good thing because price did turn around and come back up. Now price is coming down. I don't have any signals here. I got the alert, and then I got the confirmation on a daily chart. Alert, confirmation, go ahead and try to grab 30 to 50 pips. And what I'm looking at here is I see that I've got some strength to the downside. I would be looking at grabbing 30 pips rather than trying to grab 50 pips. Why? Because I'm actually down here closer to the band, okay, closer to the bottom band of the channel. All right. So I hope this makes sense in terms of your evaluation, how you decide. I'm trying to give you the step-by-step here. All right, so now we've got here, we've got this blue arrow coming up here, telling me to go short. I'm in the lower, actually in the lower band, and the band is rising, so that disqualifies that blue arrow. I've got the channel dot here. That channel dot a few periods later was confirmed by the alert. So I can now, depending again on my risk tolerance, I can try to go ahead and take an entry there. Why? Again, looking at the trend in the lower band, because that's where I'm trading, the trend in the lower band is up. And so if I'm still even more conservative, I can wait for a confirmation, and that confirmation happened here, and simultaneously we also got a confirmation that the SET came in. Same period that the confirmation indication came in. All right, so here, if I'm ultra conservative, is where I'm looking at my buy. I've got a big stop here, okay, big stop. I'm going to put it down below the confirmation indication signal, or I could even go down below the alert. That's a big stop, and so I would go for 1-to-1. But on this, I'm definitely looking at trying to get 50 pips or better. Why? Because I was trading out of the bottom band. The bottom band was rising, and I can look at the center band. The center band is also showing a little bit of strength to the upside, as well as at that point, my upper band was showing a little bit of strength to the upside. The flatness of it that you saw back here is starting to show some strength to the upside. And all of that, including the profile now, is showing me a lot of strength to the upside here. The profile that would have turned and been separated, and it's just a really good. At that point, that is showing me all kinds of good trading opportunities. Okay. So again, and I haven't even looked at the MACD, which is another indication. So I'm getting so many confirmations. Does that mean it's always going to work? No, absolutely not. But the probabilities are being stacked into your favor, and that's what you want. You want the probabilities stacked in your favor. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here. Now, here's the thing. This is the Aussie USD, right? Aussie USD. The trade that we put on the 23rd back here. This is the 23rd. Okay. Now, knowing what you know now, this tells me that even though there was a UFO, there were a lot of unfilled orders at this point up here. It would probably, had I done a full evaluation, looking at the trend of the channel, looking at the trend of the profile, looking at the SETs, okay? There was no way that I was going to take that trade, or I would have taken it a lot deeper into the unfilled order area. Okay, so that's the thing. That is how if you just use one indicator, you just focus on one thing, you can trade well, but you're going to have more opportunities to get stopped out. So lesson learned here was not to rely completely on any one indicator. And if you don't have a predominance of indicators that you normally use that tells you go ahead and take the trade, take the risk, okay? How much are you willing to risk to see what happens? Okay, that's the question. How much are you willing to risk to see what happens? Take the trades when you have a predominance of confirming indications. So let's go ahead now and look at the NZD. And here is the NZD. And again, let me go ahead and add my SETs to it. Okay, so again, SET true, show crossover, don't really need that, false. Show blue, true. Show red, true. Show green, we don't need that right now, false. And show brown, whoops, also false. All right, so here we go. So now what we see here is that, again, the 23rd, back here on the 23rd, there's the 23rd. Let me go ahead and mark that. There's the 23rd. We entered that on the 23rd for whatever reasons, primarily because there was a zone that we were showing just above here. We were looking for price to move up and get into the trade, which we did get into the trade. And we are still possibly in the trade depending on what your spread was, depending on how well you, how big your account is, whether your broker is allowing you to take raw spread trades. You can see here my spread is 6 points. 6 points is actually 6/10 of a pip. 6/10 of a pip. So in my case here, there would not have been a stop out. However, if you are trading the NZD USD and your broker had a better than a 3 pip spread, which would show here as 30 points or 31, 32, 33 points, then you would have been stopped out and out of this trade. So in my case, this is still running on my trading computer, okay? But now let's go ahead and analyze, was this the right trade to take at that point in time? At that point in time, we had the channel dots, no question about the channel dots. There may have also been an alert, but that alert never got confirmed. If it had been confirmed, it would show. Okay, so remember the alerts are recalculated based on price movement. So again, the focus on the 23rd of November was on the unfilled order zones or unfilled order areas or support resistance areas or whatever nomenclature, whatever you want to call those. But focusing on that exclusively, you can see that there was a potential for price to continue to move higher. So if I wanted to do that again, I would want to set my limit order up in a deeper position, deeper into the zone, okay, much deeper into the zone, because let's go ahead and do a quick analysis. Down here where we had this dot, okay, we had this dot down here, channel dot, followed by a SET. The red SET was a stop for a long position, right? A red SET is a stop for a long position. Okay, so you know that it's a stop for a long position because the arrow is coming in under price action. So it has to be a stop for a long position. You know that this blue arrow has to be a stop for a short position. Why? Because it's above price action at that point, right? So here we get a nice arrow. We've got the channel dots telling me that price has moved into the lower channel, and looking at the lower channel where price is closest, we can see that the trend of that channel is definitely up. Okay, looking at the opposite side of the channel, the upper band is also up. So I've got up. I'm trading in the lower band, so that tells me, in addition to the direction of the channel, it's telling me that we're looking at an oversold condition. Oversold. All right. So now I've got some good indications that I want to take this trade to the upside here. And that would have been a good trade. Here we've got some, before that we've got a lot of price wavering, whipsawing between the zone down in here, this in lower area, okay? But again, could I have taken these trades? Was that a good trade to take? Okay, price was trading closer to the bottom band, okay? And again, depending on where I put my stop, okay, where I put my stop, I'm looking at taking these trades. Okay, so you need to set up a matrix for yourself and identify what you're going to be concentrating, what you're going to be focusing on first. In my case, I focus on first, where is the price action within the channel? Okay, that's my first thing. Where's price action within the channel? Then, after price action within the channel, then I focus on what what is the trend of the channel closest to the price action? Very easy, okay? Then I will focus on the profile. Then I focus on SET, okay? Not all places have SET, but you know, what if I missed the move down here? Okay, what if I missed this move down in here? Because again, I'm looking at a daily chart. Maybe I missed it. As long as I'm continuing to get good indications, then I will take the trade. Here, the day after we took, or I took anyways, that short limit on this currency pair, on the Kiwi, price gave me a very good indication that it was going to continue to go up. Okay, it was going to continue to go up and not maybe turn around. Okay? So had I not been focusing with a lot of weight on the unfilled order zone and said, okay, that's part of it. Let's see what happens. Let's see how things can shake out. There would have been more probability for price to continue to go up, which it did. Okay, and so I got this arrow here saying price is going to continue to go up, and I got another arrow here when it's actually exceeded the channel saying that it was going to go up, and it did. Okay, and then we got the alert, and we then got a confirmation of the alert, and now it's going sideways from that alert confirmation. It's going sideways from that alert confirmation. So do you want to take the trade? It looks like it's a good short up in this area, okay? But again, my channel, both the upper band and the lower band of the channel are telling me that price has a potential to continue to go up. So you have to make a decision. Finally, let's go ahead and look at the euro, the Singapore dollar, which, as we can see here, this red line down below here is the stop. We have not come anywhere close to the stop. I believe, I have to double check, but I believe we are actually live on that position that it did pull down, take us in. We set this up on the 23rd. Again, let me go ahead and put, where's the 23rd? Right there. Okay. What did I do wrong? Well, I made my decision to put in a limit order based purely on the unfilled order area. In this case, I did indicate that I wanted price to go much deeper, which it did, to take me in, and so a little bit safer. But doing the analysis, you can see that at this point, I was far better off waiting to see price continue to go down. All right, let me quickly add the profile here, or I'm sorry, yes, the profile and SET. So I'm going to turn off the crossover, false, and show blue, show red, false for the green, false for the, come on. Falls for the brown. Okay. All right. So here again, these blue arrows coming in, telling me that price is going to continue to go down, continue to go down, continue to go down. Then I got the alert and an alert confirmation, giving me some indication that price wants to go up, but overall, outweighing everything is, to me, the channel trends and the profile trend. So that's it for today. Didn't look at anything to actually put into a trade, but I wanted to focus on how to use the SET, how to use the SET. I hope this helps you out. If you have any questions, again, www.tradewithufos.com/OPA. Once you've registered, you can submit your questions at the question area, and they will be answered and recorded so that anyone else that has those similar types of questions can see that information. Have a good week, good trading, and we'll see you next time.